Coming up on First at 4, the manhunt continues for the man who allegedly shot and killed an innocent bystander during an armed robbery in Knox County. And Johnson County schools were closed today after a staff member tested positive for hepatitis A.
The rain turns to snow late tonight. Those details now on First at 4.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYNT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, we have declared a severe weather alert day in anticipation of rain changing to snow later tonight and possible slick roads. Chief Meteorologist Andrew Dockery tells us how this may affect your morning travel plans. Andrew?
Yes, Steve, this is not going to be a big winter system. In fact, it's going to be a little bit more of an impact-based system as we head into your Thursday morning. Let's take a look at some of the cameras, and you might notice, well, it's warm outside, and now the cloud cover beginning to increase. We will continue to see those rain showers work again from the west to the east and the southwest to northeast fashion, and temperatures right now sitting in those upper 50s to lower 60s. It's 62, the warm spot in Hazard and in Prestonsburg, with 57 in Harlan and 54 in Williamsburg. But as we head throughout tonight, that cold air is going to catch up, that cold front's going to move through, and your weather threats not the greatest ever, but a 2 out of 5 for impacts of gusty winds when the cold front moves through. Some light snow leading up to maybe 1 inch or a little bit more, leading to some slick spots for that Thursday morning. Steve will take a full look at the forecast and really dive into some of the details coming up in a few short minutes.
All right, Andrew, thank you. Police in Southern Kentucky are still looking for the man who shot and killed a bystander inside a store. 25-year-old Gary Wayne Medlin was killed as he was trying to leave a Knox County store on Highway 25E between Barberville and Corbin. WYMT's Phil Pendleton spoke to Medlin's family and friends about the loss and their quest for justice.
It has been 1 week exactly since Gary Medlin was shot and killed as he was trying to leave the A&B Quick Stop, falling down and passing away right there at the entrance in the doorway of the store. Philip Lewis, the suspect, remains at large. Police telling me today they're not sure where he is. Police say they still do not know why Philip Lewis was in Kentucky when he's accused of trying to hold up the small store in the gray community of Knox County. Gary Medlin was in that store as well. His family says he was trying to get home after hanging out with friends when he was killed. Police say Lewis, who has ties in Michigan and Mississippi, but no known connections in rural southeastern Kentucky, tried to hold up the store, but something rattled him when he then struggled with the clerk before firing shots at Medlin, who tried to run out.
Honestly, I think he was just hanging out with some friends and just being Gary Wayne, you know, and I was like one of the first people that got the call that he'd been shot, and I couldn't believe it. I thought it was just a sick joke, and I couldn't believe it. I mean, all I can remember is saying, no, not Gary Wayne.
In the days after the murder, A&B Quick Stop decided to close their doors, and I am being told today that out of respect for Gary Medlin's family, they have decided to remain closed. In Knox County, Phil Pendleton, now back to you.
Gary Wayne Medlin's close friends have started a Facebook page called Justice for Gary Wayne. There are several fundraisers on there, and we are told the proceeds will go to help his small boys. Authorities say they've arrested a man who fired shots inside a Florida bank. The Sebring Police Department say they responded to a SunTrust bank this afternoon. Officials have not said if anyone was injured or killed. Police say initial negotiations to get the barricaded man to leave the bank were unsuccessful. A SWAT team entered the bank and the suspect surrendered. We do not know the suspect's name at this time. A case of hepatitis A in the Johnson County School District caused classes to be canceled today. As of today, there are about 72 cases of the disease reported in the county. WYMT's Connor James talked with the school superintendent about what's being done today, and he has more.
That hepatitis A case was the main reason they canceled classes today, but there were also multiple cases of the flu over the last couple days. Attendance had been down, so they just decided to do a deep clean of the whole school. That deep cleaning came from a handful of people. Some volunteers even came in to help. Workers used some state-of-the-art cleaning equipment to disinfect the school. It was Johnson County Middle School where the person with hepatitis A was at. Now, state regulation requires all students to have their hepatitis A vaccine for the school year. So how did this exactly happen? Well, it was actually a staff member of the school. The regulation does not require staff to get the vaccine.
With that being said, we have encouraged all of our staff to have that series. We've offered clinics at most of our schools to provide that vaccination. We want to encourage everyone who's not had it to get it.
Now, Cochran says classes will resume tomorrow. If they do not, that would be due to weather. That would have nothing to do with any health-related issues. I'm in Johnson County. Connor James, WYMT Mountain News.
The school district's buses were taken by the Transportation Department for deep cleaning as well. Superintendent Cochran encourages people to wash coats today and disinfect lunch boxes and book bags to help stop the spread of illnesses even more. Protests erupt on Capitol Hill on day 33 of the partial government shutdown. The Senate is gearing up to vote on 2 bills this week, but neither is expected to get enough support to pass. One of the bills will include the president's proposal to extend protections for Dreamers for 3 years in exchange for $5.7 billion for the border wall. The other bill will reopen the government through February 8th without new funding for the wall.
It's time to make a deal.
We'll see how the Republicans in the Senate vote on their own legislation.
Last week, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi suggested President Trump should postpone his State of the Union address until the government reopens. Today, President Trump sent a letter saying he plans to be there on January 29th to give his speech. House Speaker Pelosi hit back, saying her chamber will not pass the required resolution to authorize the address until the shutdown ends. Southwest Airlines is showing appreciation to TSA employees working without pay in Oakland, California. The air carrier treated them to a barbecue yesterday. TSA workers have not seen paychecks for weeks because of the partial government shutdown. The barbecue was originally planned to honor Southwest co-founder Herb Keller, who recently died, but the airline then invited TSA workers, saying that is the kind of gesture that Keller believed in.
What better way to celebrate than to show our appreciation not only to our employees, but to the TSA who works very hard for us on a daily basis.
Others are also offering a helping hand to TSA workers at Oakland International. Last week, a local food bank donated meals for them. The airport itself set up a computer room so that they can use to apply for unemployment benefits. Police arrested a nurse in the rape of a woman who gave birth while in a vegetative state at a nursing home in Phoenix, Arizona last month. Police arrested 36-year-old Nathan Sutherland in connection with the sexual assault of a 29-year-old woman who gave birth at the Hacienda Healthcare Facility. Sutherland is a licensed practical nurse, and police say he was responsible for providing care to the victim during the time the sexual assault occurred. Police say DNA linked Sutherland to the crime and the newborn.
Sutherland was taken into custody by officers from the Phoenix Police Department Fugitive Apprehension Investigations Detail and taken to Phoenix Police Headquarters for processing.
The victim is a member of the San Carlos Apache tribe. She was in a vegetative state at the facility for more than a decade following a near drowning incident. None of the staff knew the victim was pregnant until she began moaning shortly before going into labor. The victim gave birth to a healthy baby boy December 29th. Sutherland is charged with 1 count of sexual assault and 1 count of vulnerable adult abuse. Harvey Weinstein has hired some new lawyers as he battles 5 felony sex charges. This week, Weinstein retained Harvard Law School professor Ronald Sullivan and Jose Baez, who represented football star Aaron Hernandez. Weinstein and his previous defense attorney, Benjamin Brofman, parted ways earlier this month. Weinstein is accused of raping a woman in a New York hotel room in 2013 and forcibly performing oral sex on another woman at his Manhattan apartment in 2006. He has pleaded not guilty. The suspect accused of kidnapping a 23-year-old Boston woman was not in the courtroom for a hearing this morning. The lawyer for Victor Pena confirms he will receive a mental evaluation before they proceed. Boston police say they found Olivia Ambrose just a mile from a bar she was last seen at Saturday night. A lengthy digital trial, including surveillance images of the suspect, helped police find Ambrose. Ambrose was spotted with Pena and another man at 2 different subway stations. Police tracked Ambrose's cell phone to the apartment where she was found at.
It's obvious from the video surveillance that she did not go along willingly.
Police say they do not know if Pena was at the bar where Ambrose was at Saturday night. They did not find any weapons in his home or do not know if he threatened Ambrose. His motive is not known. Pena has had run-ins with the law before. Transit police have kicked him out of the subway twice for menacing women. Now to update on a story we told you about yesterday. Authorities in Paris, France have released R&B star Chris Brown without any charges while they investigate a rape allegation against him. Brown has denied the rape accusation. He posted on Instagram, quote, "Want to make it perfectly clear, this is false." Brown said the accusation was against his character and morals. Police arrested him Monday after a woman filed a rape complaint against him. Prosecutors say he can leave France while the investigation continues. Let's head over to Wall Street now this Wednesday afternoon. The Dow closes up today more than 171 points.
Some of the biggest names in music and sports are pledging to overhaul America's criminal justice system. I'm Kenneth Craig with a look at their plan.
And that rain turns to snow, some of it leading to some travel impacts. The latest details are coming up next.
This is breaking news from Wolf, Williams & Reynolds. 80 to 90% of workers who apply for disabled Social Security or Black Lung benefits get turned down the first time. Half or more of those believe the process is over. Not so. That's where the experience of Wolf, Williams & Reynolds can help. If you've been turned down for disabled Social Security or Black Lung benefits, call 1-800-446-0167. Get the process for relief started today. Wolf, Williams & Reynolds. This is an advertisement.
Midnight Madness is back, and it's going to be big. It's one day of incredible savings on items store-wide. It's not just a sale. This is madness.
Midnight Madness is back. Save on Holly Farms boneless chicken breast, $1.49 per pound. Seedless red, white, or black grapes, $1.69 per pound. 28-pack Full Circle spring water, $1.99 each, and more. Only at Food City this Friday, noon till close.